and welcome to Mikia. My name is Michelle Edhouse and today I am playing with Resenes Test Pots. Now I have spent the last 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at the local home and garden show, and we were just I was helping out a friend on their stand, and we were right across the hallway from the Resenes play area, and they had these cute little houses that people could paint, and they had all these test pots. And as they were cleaning up at the end, I said to them, "What are you doing with those test pots that aren't being used?" She's like, "Do you want them?" I said, "Absolutely." So some of them are a little bit gluggy. This grey obviously spent quite a bit of time out on the table. As you can see, it's got absolutely no movement left in that, but that's okay. That's what Floetrol's for. So this one is Excalibur. This one here, which is to die for, I'm going to be keeping a track of this one. You guys know that I love burgundy. My wedding dress was burgundy. This is called Smolder. So I absolutely love that one. And this one is basically a white, but it is called Alabaster. So as you can imagine, alabaster is white. So what am I going to be doing? I have 3 bits of 18mm MDF sitting here. These are offcuts from making new kitchen doors for my kitchen. Slow process. Some days I think I should actually just pay somebody to do my renovations. Other days I look at what I've achieved and I go, "Oh, I love this, I'm so proud of myself." So, you know, that's what it comes down to, really. What are you after? Are you after an end result, or are you after the joy of creating it? And if it lasts much longer, I'll be after an end result. Anyway, I have put those colours out. That's the grey, that's the burgundy once they're dry. And I'm hoping these are going to dry quickly because I want to paint this and have an end result for you guys in one day. So let's see how well Resenes plays with this. It's supposed to be quick dry, but you know, it's not usually put on as thick as we do. I've mixed them about roughly half paint, half Floetrol, no water. And I've got a really good consistency. Check that out. That's lovely. Maybe a little bit more Floetrol. Definitely more Floetrol on the, what do I call that? Excalibur. Because it was so thick. It had been sitting out for so long. There was hardly any of this left. I think it's probably, knowing how much paint was in this pot before, probably more like 2 Floetrol, 1 paint. But you know, that's okay. We'll see what happens. I love these colours. Very important to me is to get some of the burgundy showing through. So I'm going to put the silicone, or this is dimethicone, Durex Play Perfect Glide pink and black tube. Put a couple of drops of that in, just into the burgundy. You don't need much silicone at all if you've got a good quality silicone, guys. So there we go. Now I am quite keen to do another one of these. I've got these 3 taped, as you just saw me do, and I've got them sitting on a cooling rack, with the cooling rack upside down so that the edge lip there stops this from sliding off. Who knows what's going to happen. It's straight MDF that hasn't been sealed, so hopefully it will suck up some of the moisture and we will get an end result in time for you guys to have a video, because I didn't give you one yesterday. I'm so sorry. Okay, so let's just start putting some colors in. So basically we've got grey, white and burgundy. Grey, white and burgundy. I'm seeing that silicon coming up in that burgundy there. Yum. Wow. I gotta zoom you in on that. Look at this, look at this. Isn't that pretty? I think it's pretty. Remind me to pull back when it's time. Guess what? It hasn't come out the hole yet. The MDF is doing a great job of being flat, and the funnel is doing a great job of staying upright, which is brilliant. Whoops. And let's put the last of that burgundy in there. Pour it from up high so it can dive down in, just like that. Let's go back out, and so that you can see the reveal. There you go, you can see it all there now. So I am literally just going to lift this up and let it drain out. We have a slight angle problem. Okay, and let's torch it. We've got heaps of cell action going on, but I just want to pop any air bubbles, get some bigger cells before we stretch it out. That was a butane torch for those of you that are new. And this is a corner catcher. It's called a piece of cardboard. Oh, that's not going to work. We're just going to scoop it over to the corner and back. And over to the corner. Sorry about my arm. And back. Look at those cells. Yum. And we need that to come down. I'm just gonna put a bit of moisture on here with some of the runoff paint, just so that the paint can have something to slide over. How does it get any better than this? Come on, paint, you show me. How does it get better? Look at those cells. That is so pretty. Remember, we only put the silicone into the burgundy. It's not called burgundy, it's called smolder. Now, some of you are going to be wondering, why did I put this stuff on 3 panels like that? Well, I'm always been intrigued with the triptych style of painting. I did some of my first paintings I did were triptychs, because I just love the way That's back before I was doing acrylic pouring, of course. I love the way they work. Some of you will have seen my video a week or so ago when I did the purple and iridescent medium coasters. I did 4. So I really like that. I'm really pleased with it. So now all we need to do is remove them from the tape. And I've got gloves on today. You may have noticed I cut myself the other day and I don't want to get paint into that cut. So I need my knife. I've put tape on the back. I'm not sure how to do this. I just blue tacked the last ones down and that worked really well. Let's not cut my fingers doing it this way. Oh, that's another option. Just pull it off the tape and just make sure those edges are covered as well. Put that back down on there. Oh no, don't tip that much. No, that's not a good idea. Just trying to keep them looking like they were joined together at one point. You know what I mean? Okay, get rid of that big lump out of there. Oh, there's a big lump in there too. Need to get rid of that in a minute. Again, I'm just picking up the wet paint from the table and painting that onto the edge, and then we can allow that just to run down the side. Just that little bit if it wants to. But if it doesn't want to, we've still got paint on it. Okay. Now MDF, especially where it's been cut, is extremely porous. Absorbs the paint massively. So it's a really good idea to have that paint on it. Let's get rid of this giant lump. And I'm just going to tilt that way and let some of it run over that edge. Not too much, just want it to break that edge. I have something. Alright. Hey, I like it. I like them a lot. Wow, let me get you down and show you them up close. Oh, I suppose I could lift the tray up, couldn't I? I'll get a lot more control if I bring you down. Hold on. Okay, let's start over here. Look at those giant cells. Fantastic. And no big patches of white, which is great because I'm not a fan of just white. these look awesome. And you can hang them as close or as far apart as you like. I even saw somebody who had made a, what's the, see how it's run over the side? What's those things that you put hot dishes on? They're drilled holes. And I'm not going to do that with these, but drilled holes through all three and then tied a knot. Fed it through, tied a knot, fed it through, tied a knot, fed it through. So the knot kept them apart. And you could put, you'd need to obviously resin it with a heat proof resin, but that would look really cool with, what's this? With some sort of funky rope for you to put your hot pots on. What's that? Triffid? No, I keep calling it triffid. My brain's gone. Anyway, I'm going to put these aside and let them dry and come back and we'll see what's underneath and see if there's anything yummy for dipping. Okay, so I think some of you are probably going to argue with me that there is something in there that you would dip. And I apologize, but there is actually nothing in there that I think is suitable for dipping, to be honest. That's kind of funky, but yeah, nah. So I'm just going to put my glove back on. And we will do some card instead. How's about that? Okay. So for those of you that haven't come across what I do with my cardboard, I posted a video just the other day making cards and pendants. Oops, let's zoom you out, sorry. Making cards and pendants with leftover paint. So head on over there after you've watched this one and see what I do with it. All I'm going to do with this is grab my little tray back and run out the leftover paint that's in there. As well as there's some leftovers of this. I don't want to mix it too much, but I do want to get some sort of funky result. So I'm gonna grab a clean one of those and just fold that over there. You can see this is already starting to dry. It's house paint, it dries fast. It's acrylic, or as you Americans know it as latex house paint. And Resenes is quite a high quality, expensive range. It's nowhere near as cheap and yucky as the, well, not yucky, but cheap as my paint that I normally use for my negative space. So we've got very subtle cells in there. And let's just spread that out. We just need to make it big enough for a card. It's a bit gloopy, I must say. Let's get some. So, you know what I just realised? This pour actually kind of qualifies for the February challenge, because this burgundy is sort of like red. Kinda, you know? See if we can make that heart a little bit more heartish. So the February challenge for the Acrylic Pouring for Fun Facebook group is red plus 2 other colours. So it's supposed to be a spiral pour. I didn't do a spiral pour, but I'm not going to do all my pours spiral pours. So there you go. So let's put that out to dry as well and see what we get as our end result. I'll be back in 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! They're dry. Now, I know you guys would like to see these sitting outside in the sun on the bushes, but because they are so skinny and heavy, they just kind of fell through the branches of the Hebes. So we're inside. Sorry. How's it get any better than this? But there you go. The sun's out. Look, it's already overexposed. Anyway, so I am really pleased with these. I love this color combination. I am not normally a grey person. As I say, burgundy is one of my favourite colours in all the world. So I'm really pleased with these. They've come out so nice. The cells are huge. The application was ease, and normally on house paint you'll find that the particle pieces are just that little bit bigger, and the only place it really shows up is in this one here. Let me see if I can, come on, focus dude, focus. Okay, so there, and then there we go, that's it, done it, yay! So you can see the particles are obvious there, but really in the rest of it, it's totally fine. So not sure I will change to house paint as my permanent paint option, but you know what, doing it 2 to 1, 2 Floetrol, 1 paint, you can get a lot of paint with that, and so it's not actually a bad option for I think, I can't remember what they charge these days. I think one of these, which is 60ml, is between $5 and $8 each. So yeah, it's definitely something you can play with. If you have a local Resenes shop or a Mitre 10 that sells Resenes or something like that, and you can go in and get the colours. So I did put these outside, not in direct sunlight, but in a very hot day, and they dried pretty quickly. This is the next day. They've completely dried now. I looked at them last night to try and get the video out for you last night, but they weren't 100% dry, and I didn't want to risk putting my fingers in them. There is a few little spots like this, which are where the oil and the paint have not been particularly happy with each other. And so it's kind of that, do you want cells or do you want a perfect top finish? That's really the question you need to be asking. I do have a chunk of something in that one, which I'm not pleased about. But to me, these have come out really well. I'm really pleased with them. And they dried really quickly, which house paint is good like that. And I'm really impressed with how well they've dried, how smooth they are, really, to be honest. Considering how I left them and how fast they've dried, there was a really good chance that they could have cracked to heck and back, which I have had paints do in the past, and it hasn't done it. So I'm very impressed. So that's how I'd hang them. 3 like that. You can see that they do blend together. There is a definite transition. And I'm really pleased with them. I'm really happy. I like them. Can you tell? Or you could hang them like lengthways as well. You know what I mean? Widthwise. Horizontally. Like this. They just fit. So if you've got bits of MDF lying around, please use them. Don't throw them away. Make them look pretty and give them to someone as a present. Or something like that. I've had fun with this, and I have a pile more paint sitting just over here. So you'll be seeing some more of these pots of Resenes testers coming through over the next few videos. But just bear in mind, guys, that this month's challenge on the Acrylic Pouring for Fun Facebook group is red and 2 other colours and a spiral pour, because as Doug said, Valentine's Day is the day that the most people propose. So how's it getting any better than that? Oh, the card. There you go. I'm not excited about this. I think that'll probably go in the bin, but it was fun. What else is possible, guys? How much fun can you have painting? And where can you source your ingredients and your things that you pour on that will contribute to more ease on the planet? You know, if they'd just thrown that paint away, it would have not been a gift to the planet. Now I've made something beautiful with it. How's it getting any better than that? Alright, thanks so much for following me, hitting subscribe and like and commenting and all of that stuff. I'm so super grateful for all of you, and I am super looking forward to playing with you guys all again in the next video, which is coming up super soon. Bye bye.